Well, hey, this is Rose RCG Kreations. How you doing? Bringing to you, making banana bread in a jar. Some of this bread, hubby doesn't like nuts. I love nuts, so half of this recipe, first half's going to be his with no nuts. Then I'm going to add some chopped up pecans to my batch. I had frozen bananas throughout the year. Well, not the whole year, just like the last 2 or 3 months. So I went ahead and took them out, let them thaw out, and I mashed them all up. There they are. You need 2 cups. It's a little bit less than 2 cups, but I'm okay with that. It's close enough to 2 cups for this recipe. So we're going to reserve this for a minute. Let me get all my stuff out of the way here. I'm all cramped up in this tiny little spot. But that's what you got to do, what you got to do for a recording. Okay. Now, let me just get all these cord to the mixer. Because I'm going to be using the KitchenAid mixer. So it asks for, and I will, of course, like usual, put the entire recipe in the description box. We're going to start off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the ingredients. I'm going to pause it because I really, really want to stay within a 15-minute time frame. So I'm going to pause it on each phase. But let me give you the main gist of the ingredients. You're going to use 2 cups of mashed bananas, which is about 5 bananas, but again, it varies on the size of bananas. 2/3 cup of shortening, and here I'm using my Crisco shortening. That thing is heavy. Okay, 2 2/3 cups of sugar, and then 4 eggs, whole eggs, and 2/3 cup of water, 3 3/4 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, and then your chopped pecans, however much you want. And I'm just going to go mine by looks based on half the recipe. That's going to be for me. Okay, I don't have an exact measurement. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. So let me put all these ingredients together. What I'm going to do is all the dry ingredients first, and then I'm going to do all the wet ingredients, and I'll bring you back so you can see the phases as they go along. Okay, there's the sugar and the shortening mixed. I did it for around 2 to 3 minutes like the recipe said, and you could see it's all incorporated pretty darn good. Now we're going to add the 4 eggs, 1 egg at a time, and mix it. But because I'm one-handed here, I'm not going to do that, so just take my word on that, okay? Thanks. Okay, and now all the bananas and the water with the shortening and the sugar is all mixed up. So now I'm going to be adding the flour mixture, which I mixed all the rest of the dry ingredients all together. And I made sure it's mixed real well. Look at the mess I made. I'm a messy cook. Okay, anyway, let's smooth this over here. And from all the videos that I've been watching, because I've been watching a lot, I like to watch a bunch of stuff first and watch, and rewatch. And then write everything down, because I'm a visual person. You do a little bit of this at a time. So I'm just going to scoop a little here and a little there. And see how it's mixing it all up. Because I think you get a better consistency if you do a little bit of a time instead of just pouring the whole thing in. I could be wrong, but I think if it mixes really, really well, you get a better end result with a better flavor, which is the whole purpose when you're baking. Well, actually, the whole purpose when you're doing anything is you want it to come out, you want the end result to turn out good, especially when you're creating something. So, as you can see, it's starting to get thick. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, put the camera down so I can use 2 hands, and I'll bring you back when I'm finishing loading up the jars. come back. And boy, did I make a big mess. Maybe someday I'll grow up to be a not so messy cook. Okay, fill the jars halfway. I'm doing an experiment because this is my first time doing this. And I'm going to write it down in my book so when I do the recipe sheet I'll know for future reference. You see these? These are pretty much about halfway. And ran out of those big wide mouths, but I have my little talls. And they say if you use the jars that don't have a shoulder, they're easier to slide right out. Don't forget to spray your jars before you put the batter in. Okay, this one is a little bit higher, as you can see, because I want to see how much it rises. Because we'll just cut off the end, the top off that goes over the jar, and that'll be our snack for the night. Okay, and I'm just going to see, but you want to get a clean wet towel. No vinegar, just clean wet towel. Almost everywhere I read, I think I saw like 15 on Google and YouTube videos, and everybody says just a wet towel. You want to wipe the jars to make sure there's no residue, because when they're going to bake, that's going to bake and it's going to stay on there. Then you're going to have a compromised seal after they bake, and you want to put your seal on there. So make sure I just used a wet paper towel, nothing major. So I'm just wiping them all down, but I messed up and I spilt some cake mix on my table, and I got on the bottom of some of my jars, and I don't want those to get yucky on the bottom. So I'm going to wipe down the bottom of these jars because I don't know which ones got some cake mix on it, which ones did not. I'm just going to wipe them off, all of them. Okay, so I'm going to wipe them all down. These I haven't wiped down yet on the rims. I just want to get the bottom in case they got some batter on the bottom of them. Okay, so let me finish wiping these out. Just want to make sure the rims are clean. Oh, and don't forget, when you put these on your cookie sheet to bake, make sure none of the jars are touching each other, okay? If you need to do it in 2 batches, then you do it in 2 batches. I'm hoping to get mine in 1 batch in the oven and have them all bake at the same time, because I got 2 small cookie sheets, and I'll bring you to that in just a sec. So let me take these over to the cookie sheet, and I'll bring you right back to it. So you can, actually I'm just going to turn this around and you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So here's one of my little cookie sheets. I got 2 little small ones. And make sure they don't touch. Let me get my pot holders out of the way. Now I'm going to use my big wide mouths. I'm going to put these on this side. That way they get even bacon. I don't really know if the size of the jar makes a difference on the baking or not. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm writing on my notes so I know for future reference. Okay. 4 on that one, then let's do 4 on this one. Just because I want to make sure they don't touch. Okay, I'll put these in the oven, and I'll bring you back when they're done. Bake them for about 35 minutes, but do the toothpick test. Or if you have a cake tester, we have a metal cake tester, use that. I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that, but I forgot to show you. I went ahead and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. 2 wide mouth and 3 tall regular mouth. Here are 3 wide mouth, getting ready to clean. And look at that, none of these rose overly high. So that's pretty darn good. So now what I need to do, let me move you over so you can see. Make sure, can you see that? Move it down. Here we go. You gotta work fast. You need to put your clean lid and ring. Make sure you grab something with a towel because this jar is hot. And close it tight. And then put it on a towel to cool. And you'll start to hear it ping, 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 ping. I've already heard a couple of pings. And since this is my first batch, I'll show you in just a second. I put two of them upside down, a regular and a wide mouth, just because I wanted to see. Some people did it upside down. Most of them did it with the lid rings up. I wanted to see if it makes a difference. I really don't know, but this is trial and error. So let me bring it back. Let me move slowly. Okay, so here's my jars. There's the two regular. There's the white. Okay, all the jars sealed. Let me take you over here. And remember those two that I had down here upside down? Well, there's the one I have that I'm up in right now, but look, this one's sealed. They're a little warm. They're not hot, but I'm going to let them cool naturally. But I just wanted to show you they've all sealed. So yay! Good, good, good. Now we're going to do a taste test. So here's one of the jars. Yeah, it's warm, but it's like no big deal. Oh, look, it just slides right out. Yay! That's what you want. And then there it is. Now I'm going to slice it. Mmm. Smells good. Here you go. Let's take a bite. Oh, thumbs up. This is so good. Let me get you a little closer. Look at that. And I will show you this. Do this extra tip. I found this only from one video. And I'll post on there on the description box of who I got it from. Or I may just add it to the video. There's a casserole container. And I filled it with 2 cups of water. And she said that the moisture from the hot water, as it's baking, causes the moisture in the cake. And this thing, let me bring you a little bit closer. Look at that. Can you see that? Man, oh man. That is definitely a thumbs up, and I definitely will be making these again. From what I'm told, and again, it's a personal experience. And as I said in the very beginning, this is my first time making this, so I'm not exactly for sure, but I'm going to taste it. I'm going to test it. I'm going to see it, and I'll do a makeup down the line. Once the jars are totally sealed and cooled off, you can store them in the refrigerator for up to 4 months. A lot of people say you can store them on your shelf. So wait for them to totally cool off. I'll just wait and do this because it's already late. Do this tomorrow. Take the seals off just like you do your regular pressure canning stuff process. Take all the rings off. Do the lift test where you lift up just on the ring itself. And that tells you that the seal is a good seal. So I'm going to take my rings off. Label them. Because those jars there, I forgot to take off the old food label. So I got to get me some alcohol and all that. Take the old food ingredient off of there and put the new one, which would be banana bread. And some of it's going to be banana nut, and some of it's just plain banana. Because my hubby don't like nuts, and I made his with no nuts. Label them, date them. Then I'm going to set 2, one of each. One of the nut, because the nuts have some of their own oils in them. And the one without the nut, I'm going to save those in the very back. And let's see if they last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, because just about everybody says they don't last more than 4 months. But I have seen a couple of them say that they last a year. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be making this again for sure. And next time I will definitely double the recipe. That way I can get more done at one time. I mean, if I'm going to go to the trouble of doing this mix, I might as well just double the recipe. Because it did make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It made 5 wide mouth jars, and I think those are the half pints. I think. Or the pint, no, these are the pints, I think. And, you know, I don't really know. It's the small wide mouth ones. Not the quart size. And then it made 1, 2, 3 of these tall, which I think these are 1.5 pints. But I'm not really for sure. I'm not really up to par on the sizes of the quart and stuff, but if I remember, I'll go ahead and put it in the description box just so you know what size each jar is. But thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Have a great day. Bye-bye.